Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, so wherever you're watching, make sure you say hi in the comments and introduce yourselves. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you also hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss a show. Lots to learn, especially in the next few weeks, because we are kicking off our strip along today. But every show we also have a giveaway, so make sure you stick around to the end so you can hear our giveaway question, answer it in the comments to win a $25 gift card. Say hello to Mr. HB, my producer.
Hi, how are you?
How is it going?
It's going awesome.
It is, yes. Lots to tell you guys, but so make sure you comment throughout the show. Send us some love and thumbs up if you love what you're seeing. Ask questions too. We got lots to talk about today. Lots and lots and lots.
You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So first off, let's talk about the quilts on the set. I have behind me one of my faves from the Quickies book, Frankie. And this is the original. You know, the Frankie Quickies class is coming up next. We have the Ursula releasing now, any day now. Mm-hmm. The prep video is already out, so thought I would be appropriate to put get you excited for the next one. And then behind you, you have Elvira too. He got some Halloween. He got some Halloween going on.
Elvira.
Okay now. So we just got back from a little over a week-long trip. We went to Minnesota, hung out with the peeps in Minnesota for a while, and then packed up the trailer and drove to Chicago for our trade show, H&H Americas, which was a whirlwind.
Yes.
But a good one.
A
good one.
Awesome.
I don't know. We all are so tired after a show like that, just mentally tired. I really don't want to talk to anybody for a while.
Look at this photo.
Oh, there we are. That was right in the lobby. So this is Otley, my oldest, who is our COO
His
at
beard is a little
Designs.
pixelated.
Huh?
His beard is a little pixelated.
Oh, is it really? This is in the lobby there. Did you have any other photos or just videos?
Just videos.
Okay. Of course, we were there to introduce some new products, some new things to our shop owners and distributors. So this was a wholesale only, just a trade only show. What's fun about the show is it's not just quilting. It is all the soft crafts. So we had people there representing, garment sewing, knitting, crochet, any kind of needlework and stitching and felting and all this good stuff. And it kind of just brings a lot of excitement and energy. And I have to say in general, everybody that walked the show and we talked to just said the same thing, that the energy hasn't been like this at a quilt show, a wholesale quilt show for a really long time. It felt like Quilt Market like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
A very international community too, so I just loved it. So anyways, and that show is just going to keep getting better and better, I know that. I did a little video of our booth, and yes, you might see some things you haven't seen before. We'll talk about them. If we're not going to talk about them today, we're going to talk about them in the next few shows, so stay tuned. But here is our booth at H&H Americas.
We'll just let the audio from the show play. It's all good. It's all good, people.
So this was just a little glimpse of the booth. Yes, there's some new things. We'll talk about those. But some of you, this is going to be an annual show in Chicago. It's always like around the first weekend in May. It's for the trade. And somebody just said that you missed, there used to be an international quilt festival in Rosemont in the spring, kind of connected to Spring Market years and years ago. So that's a consumer show. And yes, okay, there is a show coming next spring. So next spring, H&H will host, it is like a craft stitching and sewing show that will be the weekend before H&H. Because H&H runs in the middle of the week. It runs from Wednesday to Friday, and we have some classes on Monday and Tuesday set up. So Friday through Sunday, there will be a consumer show open to the public. And so that is very exciting to bring that excitement back and also to have it not just quilting. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's awesome. So we're excited about that. Yeah, somebody said there was also, been hearing stories of people getting COVID at the show. Yes, we've heard a lot of stories. We were kind of not in the, was an area of the show where a lot of the quilting vendors were. We were kind of mixed in with others because we've been vending there for so long. And yeah.
Get off me, COVID.
I think everybody over there got COVID. I think the whole Riley Blake booth and whole, we've been hearing stories. So knock on wood, we are okay. We are okay. We're also highly vaccinated. Got all the shots we can get. So we made out good so far. But doesn't mean that we're dead tired. The brain is still tired from just overload and excitement. So
we'll
great.
report back later.
Yeah, we'll let you know. You'll see us on camera this
You'll
week.
Hear
so
it.
I know. But let's talk about our winner from last week's show before we dive into all the content we have for you guys today. First off, I asked you a question. What is your favorite outdoor activity? And our random draw winner is...
Drum roll. No drum roll. Applaud.
Yay, Kate Falk. Congratulations, Kate. Her favorite outdoor activity is eating.
Love that.
Okay, we can consider that an outdoor activity. I agree. That's one of my favorites as well, especially when you actually have the season to eat outside.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just great.
That's awesome.
We are so lucky here that we can do that, big part of the year. Not so much in Minnesota.
No.
All right, so we have kind of two tip of the days today.
Get your prize, you do what?
Huh?
Get her prize.
Oh, sorry, Kate. Send us an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com. To claim your prize, we'll get you your gift card right away. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, two tip of the days. We are doing our regular Stripologized classic blocks, always second Tuesday of the month. So I thought, let's just do both because we also have our strip along. Yes, the strip and dip strip along 2025 kicking off, but I think we should do the classic block first.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Here we are, classic block Stripologized. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to a classic quilt block and show you how easily it can be Stripologized. This block is called the Seesaw block. It was first published in 1973. This version of the block, I have 3 different fabrics, one for the flying geese, one for the background, and then the accent color that creates the pinwheel in the middle. To break this block down, let's take a look at the worksheet that you can find on our website for free. Download this for free and print it out. We have the coloration here. We also have just a black and white line drawing, so you could color this any which way you like. And then we have the units broken down. So what we're looking at is a classic 4 patch block. So we have 4 different parts to it. And the instructions or the sheet here, the guidelines, give you 3 different sizes, 10-inch, 8-inch, and a 6-inch finished block. So each quarter of the block, you will see we have flying geese, so 4 flying geese. And for that one, we of course have our Master Your Stripology Rulers book handy to do the flying geese the QAYG way. You need 4 of them, so that would just be 1 unit. You'll find the sizes to cut for the 2.5 by 5-inch finished flying geese here, and you can use either the squared mini ruler or the bigger rulers to make this block or the flying geese. Then we have, for the block, just a rectangle and a square from the other dark blue fabric. So the square and rectangles, the sizes mentioned here are going to be the finished sizes. So just make sure you add the 1/2 inch to each side or 1/4 inch to each side for the cut size. So for example, the squares is a 2.5 inch finished size for this 10-inch block, but that you would need to cut 3-inch squares. And for the rectangles, you would need to cut a 3 by 5.5. So let's take a look at how that's done. So we have the flying geese, and then this unit here in the middle is a rectangle with a corner. So it is a folded corner technique, which is how we would do that is take the squares, draw a diagonal line on the back, and then you want to make sure that you are positioning this so that the line is oriented the right way. You layer the fabrics right sides together. The square is on one side of the rectangle. And as you can see here, I have made sure to have my line drawn from the bottom left corner up to the top right. We're going to stitch on the line, trim, and then fold the corner as for a classic folded corner technique. And that is what is going to become this part of the block. So then all you do is sew your 4 folded corner units to the flying geese. And then once those are sewn together, you just want to sew 2 and 2 and then match them up. What I did here, I pressed opposite directions. So for the back, I was able to spin the seams on the back. So created a little tiny pinwheel on the back side, which makes this block nice and flat and easy to do. So let's take a look at how this block would look like in a quilt. This is a classic horizontal layout where you will definitely see the pinwheels popping out at you. The flying geese kind of spin with the pinwheels. And you can then see in between the blocks, it creates kind of a fun version of almost a different type of a star. If we take a look at the on point layout, so where the block is laid on point, you will still see the pinwheels. They're just shown on point. But what's fun with that, you kind of see a version of a friendship star with a light blue fabrics get created between the blocks. So in any case, this block is a really simple to do, just with some flying geese and folded corners. So I hope you try it and make some seesaw blocks. So you can find the worksheet printed off of our website. You'll find it under bonus charts and templates. And now that is found in our bottom of the page menu. So you go to our front page on our website, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and you find another menu there. So you'll find that there called bonus charts and templates. Click on that and you'll find that 5th block of the year. All right, any questions on that? Lovely, lovely. It's fun to make a pinwheel in the middle and you're not actually making a whole bunch of half square triangles. I eliminated a seam there. It is time for our Strip Along 2025, which is our strip and dip pattern chosen. So this is our 9th annual Strip Along. What is a Strip Along? Just a quilt along. with strips. Yes, I chose one of my older strip patterns. This was originally published in 2008. Rewrote the pattern, stripologized it all so we can use our rulers and tools and make this 2 different options as well. So we talked about this in the past few weeks. If you missed somehow that we're doing this, you can still join in. All you got to do is have the pattern. You can get that as a PDF on our website, PDF download, or as a printed version if you really want that. I'm just going to warn you, if you ship that by itself, it's going to take a while to get to you. So, but you can still get it, especially if you order it with something else, it's going to come to you quicker. So that's all you really need to participate in the strip along. We're breaking this down to 4 parts. So this is the first Tipsy Tuesday. We're kicking it off. And then the next consecutive 3 Tipsy Tuesdays, we'll be doing it step by step. So I'm breaking it down into very easy portions so you can take your time. It's no rush, okay? So just remember, I always give you lots of extra tips that are not included and written out in the pattern. So you might want to just, work alongside us these next 4 weeks, right? Right. People have known to appreciate those tips. I think so. So let's start off with this first part, Strip and Dip, Strip Along, our 9th annual for 2025. In this first part of our Strip and Dip, Strip Along, we are only going to be going through the first couple of steps in the pattern. So make sure you have your pattern and make sure you have your multicolored strips that you're going to use for the diamond blocks. Your background strips or background fabric should be left for later. So we're starting with those, and like I said, have your pattern ready, and we are going to be getting ready to sew some strip sets. We're going to be making strip sets that include 3 strips, and whether you have cut your strips from fat quarters or they're full width, it really doesn't matter. So your strip sets are just going to be longer. One thing that I recommend doing, since we're going to be cutting these on the diagonal, is to stagger your strips, and so that we get more use of the fabric. So a little trick here, I recommend you take the 3 strips that you are going to be sewing together into a strip set, just stack them up so they're even here on the side. If you have our point trimmers, we will be using the 90-degree trimmer, the GEZ point trimmers, and the package looks like this. So we'll be using the 90-degree, not just for this step, but actually throughout. And you can either use that or our Stripology rulers. I'm going to also show you how you can do this with a regular ruler. So for the whole strip along, you can use either the squared ruler or the XL ruler. We'll be using the 45-degree line. So you'll see that black dotted line here on the squared ruler. On the XL ruler, it is a black solid line. So we want to just make a little angle, a 45-degree angle at the end of our strip set, so that way you can stagger them and you're making the best use of your fabric. So I'm just going to align the flat long line of the trimmer on the bottom at the edge of the strip. I put it on the left edge of the strip. That's how we piece these together. And I'm just going to turn this. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to turn it this way. And I know this is not big enough to extend the ruler or extend the strip set, but I'm just going to start cutting this way and then just cut all the way through that way. And then I'm going to trim that little bit off so that I have an angled end here. So this is what's the bonus of having the point trimmers. You trim your dog ears off. Now that means that when I'm ready to sew these together into the strip sets, I will start with the first one, laying them on top. And I have this little flat tip that I can just align with the edge. And I sew my strip set and press and then add them on. If you don't have the trimmers, you can use the rulers for this. So let me just show you. You can stack up your strips Let me just do one at a time so we can show you all options. Turn this one. So with the squared ruler, all you want to do is just put your strips kind of at an angle, and then you're going to use that black dotted line and align that along the bottom of the strip. And then we're just going to cut through the 0, which gives you that angled end like this. And of course, you're going to have that little point, but the only thing you would have to do when you're sewing the strip sets together is that you want to make that little dog ear stick out when you're lining them. So it will work the same exact way with the XL ruler. And if you only have regular rulers, you can still do this. So you would just take your strips, layer them up. Now you should have a ruler that has a 45-degree line on it. So I have that here. I want to make this cut this way. So I'm going to line the 45-degree line on my ruler along the bottom of the strip. And then I'm just going to make the cut so you have that same angle, whichever ruler you used to do that. So moving on, once you have picked your strips, picked how they're going to come together, don't think too hard about how each one comes together. We want to make sure to sew 2 together first, and you want to make sure to press after each seam. So I sew 2 together, and then I go ahead and press, so we can press in the same direction. So I just press these up, and then I added the 3rd strip here, and then we're going to press this one. So I'm going to give you a little tip. I have an iron here, but do not worry, it is not hot. It is a cold iron, but I just want to give you a little tip on the pressing. So as we lay this, whether you have a full width strip or not, I'm going to just scooch this over. I have my ironing pad here. So again, this is not a hot iron. So once you have your strip, I always start by setting the seam. So you want to go right across the seam, make sure your strip set is laying straight, and then you want to push out with your fingertips. So you fold the strip out, and I'm right-handed, so I use my left hand to really push out that seam, and then I just move my iron straight across. I'm really pushing that seam out with my fingers all the way across, and the iron is just moving straight. We do not want to push with the iron because that's when we start getting a little bit of a wave on that seam. So again, push with your fingers and go straight across. I like to use steam, but of course that is optional. So then you have a set of strip that has 3 strips. Whether you did all the way full width, this is what your end will look like, or if you did just half width strips. So with the half width strips, sometimes it's easier to manage to just do fewer at a time, and they're shorter, easier to manage. And then you have more variety too. If you're making a smaller quilt and have just a few colors, you can have a chance to mix them up even more. But of course, you can do the full width too. That's going to save you a little bit of time as you are just piecing. So whichever way it goes, that is that first step of our strip along. So I want you to finish doing all of your strip sets according to the size that you are making. And so that will be indicated in the pattern. 6, 10, and 18, I do believe, are the numbers. And so I always start you off easy. So this is a very easy first step. And join me then next week when we move on to the next step of the pattern. So there's the first step, easy peasy. I told you I'm gonna start you off. Just make all your strip sets, and then we'll move on next week with subcutting a little more things you have to think about a little further. So first 2 steps of the pattern, get those done before next week. Any questions, let me know. I think somebody asked about the length of the strips. Of course, you can work with shorter strips and scraps, but the fabric requirements on the back of the pattern are going to give you the amount of full width strips. So you can either be making strip sets from the full width, Or it also gives you fabric requirements for fat quarters, so you could also just be making half width. But of course, if you have scraps, even smaller, you could do it. It's just a little bit more work that way. So whatever works for you. Okay. Anything else? Any questions? I think everybody's happy about being able to keep up. We usually break this out, and so again, if you missed the video, you can always go back and watch it. We have a whole blog post about this strip along, so always remember, you can always go to the blog to get every piece of information you need and find everything. And then we'll be adding the links to the videos there. If we have a jelly roll strip, would you recommend using half-length strips just for a bigger variety? You can. It's all up to you. You can, jelly roll strips usually have quite a bit of variety in there, but if you want a little bit more of a variety in your combinations, it's always a good idea. Always like to, it's easier to work with shorter. I mean, you might compromise that you get one less subcut from it, but for me, I would rather have the variety, especially if you're making smaller quilts. So there is that. Any other questions? No, I think it's good. Are you seeing both sides? Yeah, everybody's happy to be able to see it. Sue, English is my second language, so sorry if you heard anything about half widths. It's half widths. Half widths. Widths. It's a tough one.
Half widths.
I'm always trying my best on these pronunciations. But hey, who doesn't love a little chuckle here and there? We are going to move right along, and I'm going to introduce you to one of our brand new products that we introduced at H&H Americas. So this is a new product that I've actually had in the works for a few years. You know, from an idea to a fully formed product takes a while, especially if you're particular like me. So this is our brand new Quilt As You Go printed batting. So they're printed batting kits. So what that is, many of you know that my relationship with Quilt As You Go patterns goes way back, ever since that was my first ever pattern published. So the batting kits come with lines drawn on them. They are numbered, so it's pretty much as simple as stitch by number. Do you guys remember the paint by number? I mean, those things are coming back for adults now. Paint by number, I was obsessed with that when I was a kid. And so I really have been wanting to make this product. And why it's taken so long? Well, I'm a stickler for quality. So the batting is actually a really high quality polyester batting. So it's not going to stretch much on you. It's not going to fuzz. And it's not going to shrink because these are table runners and toppers. So we're going to obviously be washing them quite a bit. It has a single-sided fusible side. And the fusible is just beautiful. It melts beautifully. And so all you got to do is iron your backing to your batting, cut out your fabric. So what comes in the kit is actually the batting with the printed lines on them. And because the batting is so great, the lines can be really nice and accurate and fine. And then you add your fabric, you cut out your fabric, and then it's just stitch by number. It guides you through it. On top of that, you have the whole pattern in the kit with a video link. So these are not ready to ship yet, but I know you would all be eager to hear about it from us first. And so we already put this up for pre-order on our website. So these will be shipping in July, mid to late July. So you can order yourself one now. But let me show you the two different ones we have out now. First up is the Take It Easy runner. So this is a table runner that takes either just 40 5-inch squares. So one charm pack plus binding plus backing. One charm pack, or of course, you can use our little bundles as well, which is what I love to use. And so here are some of the versions that we made for the product covers. You use your own fabrics, yes. And so I wanted to show you this one. It was the first ever Fast and Furious Club project. And improving upon it just a little bit makes it just really fun. The second product is, of course, a version of the iconic Braid Runner. Now, I call this the midi because it is the medium size, kind of. It's not the original. It's smaller than the original. This one is 13 by 40. It's smaller than the original, and it's larger than the mini. So a really nice size. And again, you just cut out your fabric, and then the lines will guide you by number, stitch through everything, and once you're done piecing, you're quilting it at the same time, so all you got to do is put your binding on, and you are done. So I know this question is going to come up. Can I order it and put it in my fab box? Yes, you can, as long as you are keeping your fab box through July, or get yourself another one. So that is all good. But I thought I would really show you and explain how the process works, because I know some of you are familiar with Quilt As You Go, others may not be, and some of you may be familiar with a product like this, others may not. So let me just show you a little snippet of the video we were filming when we were filming the process for the Take It Easy runner, and then I'm going to show you live after that. So let's take a look. And now it's really simple as can be. We are just going to follow the numbers, number 1, 2, 3, and so on. Then the letters will tell you which piece goes there. So of course this is going to be kind of a long piece of batting as we work our way. So I like to kind of roll this up a little bit so that we can have an easier time fitting it underneath our sewing machine. And I like to use our large organizing clips just to clip it and hold it so that I can easily maneuver it. So now we're going to just start in our first piece, and that is telling me I need piece A. So here we have our pieces, and I can choose whatever fabric or whatever color I want to start with. So let me just start with this one. And this first piece, I'm just going to lay it inside the lines. Our lines on the batting are our placement lines. They're not where we're going to sew. So we're always going to be sewing with our scant 1/4 inch seam. So, and scant just means like a needle width or two less than a full 1/4 inch, so that we can stitch through and then have a 1/4 inch once we fold the fabric over, once it's sewn. So as you can see, it fits right inside here. And what's nice about this polyester batting, it kind of sticks. But if you want to need some extra hold, you can always use the pins that I referred to earlier. So I always have a couple of those ready to go. So now I am going to be adding piece number 2, which is a C. So I choose whatever C piece I want. I'm just going to take this top one down. It's pretty. And so instead of placing it inside, we're going to flip this on top because we got to sew it to piece number 1. So we are aligning the raw edges along that placement line. And now I'm just going to add my pins. So I don't want to pin through my ironing layer. So I'm just going to lift this up. Couple of pins and to hold everything in place. And now I'm ready to go to my sewing machine with my walking foot and sew through all the layers with that scant 1/4 inch seam. Now, one thing to note, if your sewing machine has a tie off button that you can tie off your stitches at the start and the end of the seam, I highly recommend using that. And if you don't, you can always take a couple of stitches in the same place and at the start of the stitch and the end of the stitch, that will secure your threads here on the backing. And so that when we're done piecing everything, you can just snip those real tight. You don't need to worry about tying anything off. Each of the stitches are going to be overlapping each other, just like when we're doing regular piecing, so you don't have to worry about anything coming undone. So let's head over and stitch this first seam. So I did my first seam. I'm going to remove the pins and then just fold this over first with my fingertips. This is where you can check your seam allowance. So after you fold that piece out, it should reach to that placement line. And you know what? If it doesn't reach all the way, so in between each seam, you can choose to use an iron or just finger press. For these little pieces, it's okay to just finger press because the batting holds it down. So if you feel like it's not flat enough, you can always put an iron on it. So now we have our third piece, which is a B. So I'm going to grab whatever B piece I want. Let's do that one. And again, place that on top. So if your piece didn't reach all the way, you can just use the placement line now to place this next piece, and then nobody will ever know that it was a little bit short. So as we pin this down, I'm going to stitch that seam, and you are just going to then keep continuing on down that pieced line, following the numbers. 3 would be next. This is my B piece, and then next there's a D and an A and a C and a D, and you continue on all of this way. And I'm going to do the same, and I'll meet you back when I have this whole row done. So there it is. This is how the technique is for our printed battings. It's really great for complete beginners. It's a great way to teach children. Somebody asked about that. Or just somebody that is completely starting out, because sometimes that quilting part is always so intimidating. But I tell you what, we, of course, had this tested by a lot of our testers and our folks in the warehouse that have been quilting, you know, really intricate things for decades. And I was so excited to they were just thrilled to use this and very excited. And they just came at me, Gudrun, you need to design way more of these because this is so fun to do. So I hope you guys enjoy it too. So let's take a look at it up close. You probably noticed that I, of course, organized all of my pieces. Hello, sir, where are you at? Hello. That's not where we're going.
All kinds of things have changed around here.
We're not going to sew right now.
You don't want to sew?
No, can we just go to the overhead?
Okay.
Oh,
In
maybe
this
not the
first
video
part
again.
of our strip and dip.
What is going on?
I don't know
here?
what's happening to you,
What
sir.
are all-
Where did my camera go? I don't know. Yeah, he is still has a show hangover or something. Maybe you'll find the camera at some point.
It totally disappeared.
It disappeared? Well,
Seriously.
I'm going to just pick this up and show you guys. So, of course, you saw that I organized all of my pieces with our clips and organizing stickers. All of the spaces are of course, numbered, and that's just like how you do it in steps, so easy. Okay, here we are. So easy from step 1 through all the way out. And then the letters pertain to the pieces. So it is really foolproof. We just did the B piece, so next would be a D piece. So I will just pick which one I want to add, and then I place it on the placement line. And if you're a little short or a little off, you have that chance, because you have the lines, to kind of correct yourself as you go. Stitch and flip all the way down. And then once you get to the end of the center row, of course, we have our pre-pieced borders that go on the sides, which you could also just use 2.5-inch strips. But it's kind of fun with the pieced ones because it's from of course, from a charm pack. So that's what's really fun. Now the braid runner looks very similar. This is not our final packaging. It's all built in. The pattern is on the back side of the cover. And here is an example of what that looks like. But it's just going to be super fun. And we're very excited about this. The shop owners and distributors were very excited about this new product and excited to bring it to their stores. And I'm thrilled to introduce it to all of you first. So check it out. And I have to tell you, yeah, you can do this without having the printed batting. You absolutely can. You can do it with regular batting if you have that Take It Easy pattern. But sometimes it's just great to do something mindless and get this instant gratification of finishing something in just a couple of hours. So let me know if you agree on that. Any other questions about this? They're wondering if you're okay over there.
I'm a little frazzled because my input just disappeared.
Just the camera just disappeared. That's interesting.
Okay, well, maybe I hit the wrong button and erased it. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Could have happened.
we'll never know. Something happened, but we're back.
I'm going to blame it on somebody else but me.
Okay. Well, if you don't have any other questions, just let us know. It looks very easy. Sheila's asking about the quilt that you guys saw on the wall at H&H. That is a brand new block of the month coming, sewn out of my Heima fabric collection, which is also coming. We're going to tell you all about that program next week. So make sure you watch Tipsy Tuesday next week. It's exciting. But I have a couple other things before we dive into some fabric. Oh, you have a question?
Yeah.
Can that poly bat withstand the heat of the iron? Oh, yeah. Poly batting is very good. It's very stable. That was my number one motive for doing all the research and development of this product, is finding the right batting, because we print on it, so it has to withstand that heat and manipulation. And then the fusible is really awesome. It's better than anything we've had before. And if you're asking, will we be getting that on a roll? Yes, we will. It's a brand new product, so we're very excited to be using it in our kits, and we'll be selling it on a roll as a yardage. Similar to how we sell our Quilt As You Go batting, we'll be switching to this one.
Mr. Shade said I can blame it on him.
Oh.
Blame it on Mr. Shade.
He's kind of far away to be blaming anything on.
Mr. Shade, it's your
That's
fault.
not really fair. He's never touched this studio, so
Mr. Shade. No, it's not his fault.
No, you can't do that to him. He's just getting going on his journey. Love that. All right, so I wanted to give one little quick update. If you were registered for our cruises this year, coming up in November, you probably got an email this earlier today or this morning. We unfortunately had to cancel those cruises because we did not have enough sign up. I understand these past few months have been rough as far as the economy and uncertainty for people, so it's been hard to kind of think far enough ahead about things like that. So we decided to just cancel them because we didn't reach the numbers, but no worries. We've got lots of great things planned that you'll hear about very, very soon as far as our travel division.
That's right. That's right.
Next year, possible Iceland trips.
Yay!
And more cruises. More cruises will be coming. So stay tuned, everybody. But again, we're sad to see him go. As far as our certified instructor cruise, we are going to be doing something else. So don't worry, we will not miss out on the fun of getting together. Okay. You will, of course, be the first to know as soon as there's anything to sign up for or get information about. But we have two great lines, and I think this is now, we need to mark the date because I'm about to show you our first seasonal collection, Halloween collection. I know we showed you the first Christmas one, the European one that sold out in a heartbeat. But this is our first Halloween. Yes. Awesome. And this is a Lewis and Irene, and it is a glow in the dark, I do believe. Yeah, it is a glow in the dark. It's called Witchy Woods. So really, really cute stuff. So what you will notice, all the white in the fabrics is going to glow. So we have the Witchy Woods here, the witch's house. We have the witches flying here with some ghosts. Really cute stuff. It's kind of like a gray gray background, a warm gray background. Very nice. Then we have the florals with the spider webs. The spider webs are, of course, going to glow. And we have this in the gray colorway. We have the witch's hat. I really like this because it's fairly small scale. So I think this one will definitely be available as a little bundle coming up here soon. And we have a different colorway of the florals with the spider web. So this one is more of a stone gray. This is the black with a gray on top. And this one has a little bit of purple in it. And one more dark one is a pure black with some skeletons, some spider webs, and ghosts. So fun. Pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns. And now let's look at some color. So we have this beautiful purple with the witchy woods. Beautiful, beautiful purple color. And another purple. And I love that this is just a shade darker, so you get this variety with the ghosts and the skeletons. You know, all this white is going to glow in the dark. This is going to be so much fun for kids. We have the spider web in a little bit lighter lavender. So pretty. And then we have to have a little bit of orange. So we have the witch's hats. And we have the witchy woods. And that's a really unique kind of a golden orange, kind of a light orange. It's unique and fun. It's kind of something different. I really love how it looks with the purples. And then we have the lighter tones. We have the witch's hats in the light gray color. Love all the colors, little pops of green in there. And then we have the lightest tone is this light gray with all of the skeletons. That is our last piece, rounding it out. And the reason being so much dark is because of the glow in dark. It's going to really show off the best that way. But we tried to split it kind of evenly. So we have 5 darks and 7 kind of lighter. So my fabric pool, I'm going to start with all the neutrals. I love this, one of our new 1 yard lines is Nitty Gritty, and this slate color just has so much texture and so many hues that it works perfectly for this collection. A little bit deeper gray is Spotted Charcoal. It's a perfect match with this base gray. I wanted to also, there's a tone in this gray that is a little bit brown. So this grass cloth cottons, it's called black, but it has a lot of warmth to it. So it's kind of like a little bit of purple hue to it. And so this one looks really great with it. And then of course I had to have a pure black, so going something to go with this piece. So I picked, this is Art Gallery Deco Stitch Stellar is the color, and it's perfect because it has the gray design on it. For the lightest grays out here, I picked another Nitty Gritty. This is called Glass, a perfect tone to go with these kind of both of them. And then I picked another Deco Stitch. This is Reflection, which is a light gray with darker gray print on it. So this one looks really good with it too. Going into some purple. I chose kind of 3 different hues because they have 3 different values here. Starting with the more plummy one, I chose Canvas in the Plum. Beautifully warm plum color. And then for the more purple, I chose Glaze Royal. Yeah, and I like it because it has that lavender, which is like the lighter colors. And then another Nitty Gritty, Amethyst. And it has all the tones. It kind of mixes the tones from both of them. And so those are really, really going to be fantastic to add to collections. So this beautiful orange, I really wanted 2 tones. We don't have a lot of this exact hue, but Here's one of our glazes. This is glazed tangerine. Love this in here. It comes off as a little bit lighter, but really if you look at it, it has a lot of deep tones to it, so it's really good. And then I chose up Bumbleberries because this is a Lewis and Irene line. Bumbleberries Brazilian orange. It is a little bit darker, but you'll see the lighter tones through, and when I put it with the fabrics, it just works perfectly. So don't be afraid of that. Love that. Of course, for a contrast, any kind of background you need, I would go with white. Bumbleberries white. It's a little bit off white, of course, so you can see the design easily. That's a Lewis and Irene. That's a perfect way to add background. You could go different shades of white, and it's going to all work great. So these fabrics are fantastic for kid quilts. I think I've made 2 glow-in-the-dark quilts. One of them we have stay here at Mama and Papa's, and Johan has to sleep with it every time. And the other one they have at home. So they love them. It's so fun. They really, really work. So again, Witchy Woods by Lewis and Irene. This next one is really unique. You guys know that we don't really carry a lot of batiks, but when I see something that's unique, I have to try it. So this is a little batik bundle by Riley Blake called Floral Reflections. And what sold me was this print because it really doesn't look or feel like a batik. It just feels like a print. Look at all those gorgeous colors. Like this is so unique for a batik collection that I just couldn't resist it. So I put together a collection around it. Now, questions that I get all the time. How are batiks different? It's a process that's just a little bit different using wax and stamping, but are they any different from regular cottons? No, it's regular cottons. Can you mix them with other cottons? Absolutely. I've done it multiple times. Now, one thing that you just want to check your batiks if they're color fast. I've ran into that once, but normally if you just wash them beforehand with maybe maybe with just some color catchers, you're good to go. So this print I was just goo goo gaga over. And I can see this in so many things. So let me show you what I pulled with it. I just did a collection of things from the same line. So we needed to have some more neutrals. So I started with some great neutrals, textures. So some creams with having a little bit of gray in there because there's a lot of gray in here. I'm going to show you more of this print just so it all makes sense. Love this layered leaf print. Now Jody is a lover of batiks, and so she is planning some things with this collection. So we'll see more. And then the third one, I wanted to go even darker, so you have like this shading into this main print here. Just really pretty, layered, and I just love the textures and the variety in the color. Going into more of our grays, but you will see that it's a very warm gray. There's a lot of kind of a green hue to it. So beautiful irregular texture on this one. And then we have the gray version of the tone-on-tone version of the main print. Look at this. This does not look like a batik to me, but it's just so beautiful. Yeah, love, love, love it. So that is in there. A little bit darker gray with that same or similar texture as we have here, just a different tone. And you can see all the blue undertones in this one. So it reads just really pretty. And you know, most boutiques you can use either side. So some of them will look pretty identical on the back and the front. However, these guys, because it is a different type of thing, they do have a backside. You will definitely see the difference on the backside. And then there is just a couple of beautifully burgundy prints. So this kind of, these flower buds bunched up together, but it's a really beautiful color. And then a little bit more spaced out. And this one has a little bit of a green in the back, just a deep, deep green. These leaves are so pretty. So pretty. And then we finish it off with the darkest hue, darkest value, and that's those layered leaves that we have here in the off-white and the black, and with that beautiful amber brown background. So this is 10 pieces, including a half yard of this, but of course we have that print available in 1 yard. So if you want more for borders, my thought went directly to my Astrid quilt, where you use a fun focus print for blocks, and then you will use it in the border as well. This would be absolutely fantastic. Now you cut up one of my Astrid quilts recently.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, I made a jacket
Yeah,
out of
you
it.
made a vest out of
A
it.
very nice one,
Yes,
too.
it is. So matching these creams, I pulled Canvas French Vanilla, perfect match for that middle one. But I also loved, and this is unexpected, this is Deco Stitch Cloud, but I love that it has the taupes and the grays in here. And because this is such an unusual boutique, I think it'd be really cool to add this to it. I pulled out one more that has a little bit more taupe tone, closer to this one. This is Dry Brush Fawn. I really love this hue. It's kind of a grayish warm brown. So I love this with any of them. And it could really build it in here too. For the grays, starting with the lightest one, Glaze Storm Cloud, a perfect hue with that light gray in here. And then a medium, which has a lot of warmth to it. This is Color Wash Textured Charcoal. Really lovely. And then, of course, we have that blue, Dry Brush Blue Black. It's a great match. And I love the dry brushes. They're so versatile. Can mix anywhere. Mix in there anywhere. I did pull a darkest tone, but this one is another nitty gritty. It's called Coal, and it has gray, but it also has the brown from here. So it works like really great with this as well. So I think this one would work in here, and people would not even see the difference that this isn't a boutique. And then I have my reds, my beautiful burgundies. I chose Canvas Merlot for a little bit lighter, warmer shade. And then a little bit more burgundy. This is Deco Stitch in the Bourgogne. Now, why do I have so much art gallery? You know what? The texture and the feel, the gray goods that art gallery prints on, feels really similar to boutique. So it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I did pull a black, so you could always add black to it because there's really a lot of black in here. There's black in the other print as well, like a pure black. So I pulled the Seedling Licorice, which is a really nice texture. Not a pure black, but pretty dark in the base, and that would mix up in perfectly. It would be great for like sashings or accents. I talked about Astrid. This one would be a great accent for that, as all those little sashings or a background. And then if you wanted to add a color, need a little pop, some focus print, of course I chose the colors that are in this print. We have the grays, we have the reds, but the other tones are this beautiful golden yellow and then the green, this beautiful unique green of the leaves. So I chose that to be another nitty gritty sunshine, a sunny side, sunny side, because it's a little mustard, but it has all the different textures and it works perfectly with it. And then the green Dry brush dusty green is the perfect tone if you want to pull out the green and add a little pop to it. So this is called Floral Reflection by Riley Blake. So that is our show. Lots of great fabric. I am always so excited to see the spring collections, summer collections, deliveries coming in. You know, we're going to get a whole bunch of holiday stuff coming in the next month or two, like May, June. There's going to be a lot. But this is why I love getting something unexpected like this, because this doesn't have a season, although I don't sew. I like to sew with the season, so I just need to snatch up the fabric while it's still there, while it's hot off the press.
True that. True that.
That is really, really the advice that everybody needs, because, yeah, it's gonna be gone before you know it. The giveaway question. So to win our $25 gift card, all you got to do is answer this question. I feel like we've asked this question before, not too long ago. But we'll just ask it again. Because it is springtime. You know, it felt like summer in Minnesota. It was 90 this weekend.
Yeah, it was toasty.
That was toasty. It was way cooler in Chicago than it was in Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here we were in Chicago.
Yeah.
My question is, just answer in the comments. You're automatically entered to the giveaway. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream? What is yours?
On an ice cream cone, it's chocolate chip and strawberry.
Oh, 2 scoops.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a cup, just vanilla with some chocolate syrup, and a little bit of milk, making them shake.
Oh, to make it a shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Basics.
I'm not much of an ice cream girl, really. I just always get a stomach ache when I eat too much. It's not that I don't like the flavor.
Boo.
I also don't like it too frozen.
Boo.
Yeah.
Ice cream. What do you mean?
It's custard. However, my flavors are always anything with caramel, like caramel pecan or cashew, or I do like a butter pecan too.
Okay. That was
Yeah.
my
My
mom's
thing was
favorite.
always like, you go and get those like concrete mixers or whatever, similar to those where you put a whole bunch of candy and stuff in it. Then that's my kind of ice cream. There's barely any ice cream in there. It's just a whole bunch of candy mixed with some custard. Yep.
Okay.
Love that. So just let us know what's your favorite in the comments, and you're automatically entered for a giveaway, which we will announce on our next show next week, a week from today. That is Tuesday, May 20th. May 20th at 4 p.m. Central Time. And yes, we're going to talk about that lovely quilt you saw in the booth. I'll give you a little hint. It's called Echoes of Iceland. You'll learn all about it next week. And we have 3 more shows between now and then. Tomorrow morning, Jody will be here with a wonderful One Yard Wednesday. That's always where you can snatch up those great deals on 1 yards. I mean, those prices are just unheard of in the industry today. And that is 9:30 every Wednesday morning, 1 Yard Wednesday, 9:30 Central. And today, or this week, is a perfect pair week. So Nancy and Kara will be here on Thursday, 9:30 a.m. And they always have some great stories, some great suggestions and tips. And they always are working up something what they're going to sew next. So it's really fun. Fun show to watch, 9:30 again. Happy Friday will be this coming Friday, May 16th at 12 Central. Right here from our Studio B.
Sure enough.
Everybody. So that is it for us tonight. I hope you enjoyed our show and some of these brand new things we have coming for everybody to keep you sewing and keep you entertained and happy. Next part 2 of the strip along will be next week. So don't miss it, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Step into the groove, it's the place to stay. GE Designs got the Stripology way. Quilting with the beat, you feel that heat. We're the rulers of the strips, every inch so neat. Lay your fabric here, lay it right here. Cut it right there. can't compare. All of the Stripology, feel that vibe. GE designs where precision is our vibe. Cut it, slice it, make it so right. Quilter's paradise, sewing in the moonlight. Measure once, cut twice. That's the funky rule. Stripology magic, yeah, yeah. It's hella cool. Turn that fabric loose, make it strut and stroll. We're jamming with the quilts in control. Oh, everybody now, lift up those strips, Feel the stripology, adding flair to your life, from edge to edge. We groove through the night, sew it up, show it off with a glorious sight. All of the Stripology, feel that vibe. GE designs